Hey yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to My Yoga Time and your yoga snack for today. So in order to experience yoga, there are 3 points which need to be working together simultaneously: mind, body, breath. If one of those is absent, then we're just enjoying a lovely exercise practice. So for all 3 of those points to be working simultaneously together, sometimes there can be fleeting moments even during a 1-hour class. So just be mindful in your practice today. As soon as we come into a position, return your awareness to your breath, moving the body, and the dance between the pulse of the breath, moving the body. We're always looking to create space from the inside out with the breath. And if we've gone physically to our edge, if we're pushing too hard, the breath becomes inhibited and we're creating tension instead of undoing the tension. So when you're ready, let's begin. I've got 1 block handy for this practice, but you can certainly practice without that block. We're going to begin in our puppy pose. Now, if you do have a shoulder injury at the moment, by all means you can skip this pose altogether, take a child's pose instead. Or, for example, if my left arm was the problem, I could use that hand as a pillow and just extend the right arm out in front. Otherwise, you have 2 choices, either both hands out in front as wide as the mat, or hands together, coming into prayer above the head. Let's position the tip of the tongue where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. Feel a gentle tone in the back of your throat, Ujjayi breath. And begin to feel the breath expanding the upper body in all directions. And then pause at the top of the inhalation, and as you exhale, allow the heart to melt towards the mat. And next inhalation, let's lift on up, coming onto those forearms now and reaching those heels back, moving into your forearm plank. If this is an option for you, just lower down and find your Sphinx pose instead. Or of course you can lighten the pose by practicing with 1 knee on the mat. So here, to help engage those lower abdominal muscles, try and lift the pubic bone towards the belly button. So the tailbone will tuck under just a little there. Let's keep the jaw relaxed and the tongue in position. And when you're ready, lower down into your Sphinx pose. Just a little neck stretch here. You can take the left ear towards the left shoulder and then over to the right side. If it feels good, you do that 1 more time. Otherwise, feel free to come to center. Well done, yogis. Let's return to our forearm plank. So Mula Bandha switched on here. So we're toning around the base, gently around the genitals. Ladies can lift the pelvic floor. And then from here, walk those feet in a little closer. Let's find our dolphin pose. Gently send your armpits towards your thighs. So mind, be present. Be here now. Breath and body. Feel the breath moving the body. And let's walk those feet back. Return to your forearm plank, and from here we'll roll onto that right arm, coming into a side forearm plank. So if you need to lighten the pose, left foot can stay on the floor there, otherwise stacking left leg on top of the right. Try and drag your elbow towards the feet to help switch on those obliques. If you're feeling stable, you can always look up. And let's change sides. Left arm down, roll to the outer edge of the left foot. And let's lower back down to forearm plank, coming all the way down to the navel now. We're going to take a laying chest opener. So a few variations here depending on your shoulders. Right arm is coming out to the side on a right angle, elbow in line with the shoulder. Easiest option is to just use your left hand as a pillow, place the forehead on the left palm. Option 2, see if you can roll onto that right hip. Maybe you can bring your right ear to the mat. Or if you're somewhere in between, take the forehead there instead of the ear. I always like to take a mudra with my left hand. An option to rest the left hand on the lower back. And just here for a few breaths. And let's change sides. Inhale to push up. You might even like to take a brief downward facing dog. And then pivoting those feet, left hip to the mat, or again if you need to, bring your navel down instead. Left arm out to the side. And let's lift on up. Return to your tabletop position. Let's thread the needle from here. We're going to take right arm underneath the left. Feel free to use the block under the head if you need to. I like to take a mudra there through that right hand. Lift up the left palm and just press down through those fingertips. Gently squeeze the shoulders together and firm down through that right arm. Option 1, stay as you are for a little more spice. You can straighten your left leg and maybe float your left leg up. And let's release, we'll change sides. So a little squeeze again through those shoulder blades, firming down through the left arm. And option to straighten the right leg and hover the foot up off the mat. Be sure to dorsal flex the foot, gently pulling those toes back towards the knee. Well done. Lower that knee down. Let's push on up. Return to tabletop. Hands under shoulders here. Maybe those pinky fingers can meet the edges of your mat, or curl those toes under. Inhaling and exhaling. Next exhalation, round the spine and lift those hips up into your downward facing dog. Feel free to give the legs a little bit of a walk here. But let it be slow. So as you bend your left knee, drop that hip, straightening the right leg. Inhale to bend both knees. Exhale, other side. Well done. Let's walk those feet now up to the top of the mat. Inhaling halfway, hands can come to the knees or fingertips can stay on the floor. Exhale to bow. Reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. And hands lowering to the heart. Let's transition the weight into the right leg. Lift up that left knee. Taking a one-legged chair, place the ankle on the knee. Try and gently send that left foot a little further to the right. So option to stay here if your balance is a little tested. Otherwise, you can take the arms out to the side, connecting index finger and thumbs once again to find your mudra. Gently draw your shoulders down towards the hips. Breathing into the outer hip. And let's inhale to come up, hands to the heart center. We'll transition with warrior 3, dorsal flexing that left foot and trying to lift the inner thigh a little as you round the outer hip down. Inhale. As you exhale, high lunge. Lower that left foot, lift the arms up. Gently press into both feet. Option 1, stay as you are. Option 2, lower that right hand down and take a little twist, lift up through those left fingertips. Deepen the breath down the left side of the body. Inhale, lift up, warrior 2, ground that left foot down. Opening out that right knee, you should see your big toe, and take the left arm back into the space behind you. Let's inhale to straighten that right leg. You can heel toe your left foot in just a little bit closer. Press into both feet and then reach and reach and reach, and then lower those hands, or Trikonasana, your triangle pose. Only looking up if the neck permits, and if you are looking up, tuck in the chin and just move the neck back a little. Otherwise, looking down towards your big toe. Inhale, warrior 2. And from here we'll lift up, cactus arms, heels in, toes out, wide-legged squat. Take a seat. Try and point your tailbone down, lifting up through the arches of the feet. And then we'll lower those arms down a little, cross right arm over the left, coming into eagle arms, either keeping right arm straight if you need to, or take the bind if it's available for you. And let's lift up. Release those hands. Turn the toes in now, a little more narrow than the heels. Arms out to the side. Push through the heels of the palms. Roll the shoulders forward and down. A little bit of nerve tensioning. Then connect index finger and thumbs. Roll the wrists, roll the shoulders forward and down. It's natural to feel a little heat or a little tingling down the arms. And then we'll lower those hands down behind you, interlace the fingers, lift the heart. Gently press the feet away from one another as though you're stretching the mat, and fold forward. Make sure you're lifting up the kneecaps, engaging the quads, and not hyperextending through the backs of those knees. And let's lower those hands down to the floor. Walk the hands to the top of your mat, return to a lunge. Step back into your plank, so rounding out the upper back. Bring the body forward as though you're looking over a cliff. And as you lower, be sure to brush the ribs with your elbows. Either come all the way down to the mat, or you can roll over the toes and find your upward dog. So up dog, knees not on the mat, only feet and hands. Return to plank, round the back. And then downward facing dog. Let's step up to the top of the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Reverse swan dives. Hands lower to the heart. Weight transition into the left leg. Let's lower down into your one-legged chair. Or of course, if this is not an option due to knee or hip injuries, both feet to the floor, take a two-legged chair instead. If you did so on the other side, float the arms out, draw the shoulders down. Let's inhale, coming up. Warrior three, exhale. Include the shoulders here, draw them down towards the hips and press the palms together. High lunge. Option to take your twist. Warrior two. Straighten that left leg, bring the back foot in a little closer, reach and reach. Before you lower down, triangle pose. Warrior two. Wide-legged squat, cactus arms. Tailbone down. We all have a tendency to accentuate the arch in the lower back here, and some of us might even tip forward a little. Try and keep that spine vertical. Let's lean forward just a little. Left arm on top of the right this time, either staying there with the left arm straight or take your full bind. Keep lifting the arches of the feet. And let's lift up. Turn the toes in, heels out, take the arms behind you. This time, take a hold of the opposite elbows with your hands. Inhale to lift. And as you exhale, folding down, stop halfway. Again, spine is parallel to the floor. Imagine you're balancing a glass of water here on your back. And when you're ready, folding all the way down, hands lowering to the mat. You can always use your block here if you can't reach the floor with ease. Let's inhale to come halfway up. Try and find a little back bend here in your forward bend. So lift the tailbone and the heart. And then as you exhale, folding down. Either keeping those hands underneath the shoulders, or if you can comfortably reach your big toes, pistol grip your big toes, elbows will bend. And lift the shoulders up towards your hips. And let's walk those hands up to the top of your mat once again. Return to your lunge, then back into your plank, rounding out the upper body once again. Bring the body forward. Let's chaturanga down, either come all the way down to the mat and find your baby cobra, or roll over those toes for your up dog. Return to your plank with a rounded spine before pushing back, downward facing dog. Option here to hold your downward facing dog just as you are, or if you'd like to include a little twist, we'll take the right hand to the left leg. So some of you might even like to step in a bit closer and take the feet a little wider, will be a bit easier. Otherwise, with the feet where they are, right hand to the outside of the left leg. A little bit of leverage there as you look underneath the armpit. And let's change sides. And release. Let's lower those knees to the floor. Take a brief child's pose, sitting back onto the heels. Feeling the pulse of the breath move the body. Inhale to lift up. Taking a seated side bend now, right leg out to the side on a 45-degree angle, and bring the sole of the left foot to meet the thigh. I want to keep a little squeeze here behind this knee. We're going to use our right hand to gently press that left thigh down, and then inhale left arm up as you lean over to the right. So pressing away through that right hand, looking for just a little more length in the side body. And then inhale to come up. Push this left foot out a little so that the shin is parallel to the edge of the mat. Option 1, cross right leg in front of the left. You're going to cross at those calves and shins, not at the ankles. Try to have the feet under the knees. Option 2, if it's available for you, stack that right foot on top of the knee. You can always elevate your hips and sit up on the block if you're quite tight. So left arm out to the side, cactus arm with the right. And we're just going to exhale over to the left and then inhale back to center. Gently send the feet in the opposite direction. So send the right foot to the left foot to the right. Well done. Coming back to center now, and either staying upright, keep that action through the feet, or if you can fold forward, allow the back to round. Option 1, stay in the center. Option 2, walk those hands a little over to the left. Keep the right arm straight. And final option, only if it doesn't inhibit the breath, we'll come into a twist. Place the right elbow in the sole of the foot. Hands come to prayer. Mind, body, breath. To release the pose now, coming upright, hands to prayer if they're not already, uncrossing those legs, coming into your boat pose, picking up those feet. Well done. Left leg out now on a 45-degree angle, bending that right knee. Left hand's going to press that right thigh away. Breathing into the side body. And coming all the way up. Moving that right foot out now, look for that parallel line between the shin and the mat. Left leg in front or left foot on top of the right. So gently press down through the outside edges of the feet and send the feet in the opposite direction. Cactus arm, left arm. Let's lean over. And come back to center. And coming all the way up now, folding forward if it's available for you. Either staying in the center or walking those hands over to the right. And if you did so on the other side, placing the elbow in the sole of the foot, hands coming to prayer. And lifting up now, hands to the heart center, Anjali Mudra. Uncross those legs for your boat pose, Savasana. And let's release. So heels down, toes up, hands can return to prayer. Try and drag those heels back towards the bottom as you lower yourself down. Touching down to the mat, bring those feet in as close to the bottom as you can, feet are hip width apart. Let's lift up into your bridge pose, tucking the shoulders under, either staying exactly as you are, or if you can, interlace the fingers behind the back. So we're pressing down through the feet, the back of the head, and the shoulders. Keep hugging those legs towards one another. And then gently deepen the breath in the front side of the body. Let's lift up the heels, release the hands, and lower down one vertebrae at a time. Cup the hands over the knees once you lower down, arms as straight as you inhale, and bend the elbows as you exhale. Take longer here if you need to, otherwise we'll straighten the legs. You can either keep the hands on the outer legs, or if you can pistol grip those big toes, do so. On the inhalation, we'll take the legs out nice and wide, and on the exhalation, bring them back together. Well done. Now, as they come back together this time, let's cross the right leg over the left leg, stack the knees above the hips or thereabouts, imprint your lower back into the mat, either stay there or lift the upper body off the mat and reach the fingers forward. Keep squeezing thighs together. And let's lower down. Move the hips just a little to the left and we're twisting. Grab your block if you have it. Place it underneath that right knee for support. And gently deepen your twist by deepening your breath. Option 1, stay as you are. Only if it's comfortable for you, straighten your left leg underneath you. Move that left leg back a little and then bend the knee and reach for the foot. So you're introducing a back bend into your twist. Inhale. And as you exhale, release the foot, return to your back and center the body. And then cross left leg over the right leg. Squeeze the thighs together. Option to hover the upper body off the mat. As we wring out any last bit of tension from the body. And let's lower down. Hips move a little to the left before knees come down to the right, just to ensure your spine is in a nice straight line in your twist. And try to be soft here, relaxing the muscles in the outer hip, the buttocks, the thighs. Either staying there or straightening that right leg underneath you. Move the leg back and bend the knee, reaching for the foot. If there's any discomfort in your back there, return to option 1. And let's release that foot. Returning to your back, coming into Savasana. Allowing the feet to fall out comfortably. Tucking the shoulders under. Option to connect index finger and thumbs to take your mudra. And soften the forehead. Let the eyes roll back. Tongue and jaw relax. And just be in this spaciousness. Let's inhale a little deeper now. Moving the tongue over the teeth. Feel free to wiggle the toes and fingers or rock the head from side to side. Following any urges to move or stretch. Before rolling to your side. And eventually pushing up to seated. Thanks, yogis, for practicing with me today. I hope that you enjoyed that practice. If so, please do subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Wishing you a lovely day.